Humans have always been actively engaged with their ecosystems and especially their forests, especially here in Montana. Whether or not you live within the wildland urban interface, in the middle of the woods, or in our communities, forests affect us all. They affect our drinking water supplies, they affect our air quality, they affect all of our recreational pursuits, and they affect all of our economies in one way or another. I am Sonia Gurman. I'm the state forester for the state of Montana. I oversee private forestry assistance, all of our partnerships with our state, federal, local partners and tribal nations, and I oversee wildfire protection on state and private lands. As state foresters, we really see active forest management as being the tool to achieve all of the values that we hold dear for recreation, clean watersheds, protecting our communities, and supporting wildlife habitat. We're really proud of the work that our service foresters do with private forest landowners. So say that you have a landowner that is really concerned about wildfire or really concerned about the insect and disease that they might be seeing on their land. A service forester will go and essentially consult with that private forest landowner and come up with a plan to address some of those predominant issues that they're seeing on their private forest land.
My name is Mary Ann Garner.
My name is Don Garner, and we're here at the Bear Paw, we call it.
10 miles from Big Fork, Montana. We purchased this property with the intent of having it be grizzly bear habitat. We knew nothing about managing a forest. I took a class on forest stewardship that was sponsored by the DNRC. They teach you how to inventory your property, how to evaluate it, and the thing that I came away with is that we have a very sick forest and it needed a lot of help.
Probably the biggest threat right now for this property is wildfire. When we got the property, it had been logged in the past and it hadn't been logged with much care, and there were a lot of places with extremely dense stands of pretty unhealthy trees that would be just ready with the smallest torch to go.
We are seeing larger fires, and we're also seeing more fires. We end up working with a lot of private forested landowners to do a lot of thinning, help educate them about the natural occurrence of fire, help them understand that there is a likelihood that fire may occur within or around their forested ownership.
Contractor comes in, does extensive thinning, cuts down trees, stacks the slash, puts the logs on a truck and takes them to the mill. The way that helps with the fire risk is to reduce the opportunity for fires to go from the ground up into the trees. Take the ladder fuel out and just increase the spacing from tree to tree. And the cost of that is shared between us and the Montana DNRC.
The cost-sharing programs were invaluable for getting us to do things on scale, where we could do more acres instead of like 4 acres, we could do 20 acres. And backing those up over a number of years, we've been able to cover most of the property, get thinning done on most of it.
There are over 800 million acres of forested land throughout the United States, and that's a lot of forested acres, and that's a lot of ownerships. Wildland fire, insect disease, smoke. They don't recognize jurisdictional boundaries or ownership boundaries, and we have a saying that neither should our management. In 2008 Farm Bill, Congress required of the states to put together what are called forest action plans. And they wanted us to do 3 things: assess the conditions of all forested lands, work with a collaborative group to identify priority areas to address some of the predominant issues that we were seeing, and come up with implementation strategies as to how we're going to get that work done. The need for our services is growing, whether it's local government, state government, federal partners, tribal nations, or private landowners. The power of forest action plans is they offer that opportunity for us to work across those jurisdictional boundaries. And state foresters, we're the glue that brings everybody together.